Hello and welcome to the Grounds Crew. My name is Alex,
Alexander,
And this is
Bo.
Paul.
and we have not done a podcast in a few weeks, probably about a month by now. So we wanted to give you guys an MLB update on all the moves that have happened so far in the free agency. The big one, uh, just to recap, Juan Soto did go to the Mets. Kyle Tucker traded to the Cubs. Devin Williams to the Yankees. And those are mainly the big ones that have signed so far. The massive ones, I should say. But now starting from where we left off, before the holidays, the A's acquire lefty Jeffrey Springs in a six-player trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, Springs has been dealing with some injury issues, but from what I know, when he's healthy, he's good, and he's really good. And what's just surprising me is now that the Athletics are out of Oakland and playing in a minor league ballpark, they're now trying to win.
Yeah, yeah, that's amazing. I know. The other
They
thing is to have a six-player trade. That's a huge amount of trading.
Yeah. Um, I just can't get over the fact that now that they're officially out of Oakland, and we can't call them the Oakland Athletics anymore. They've now spent money on Luis Severino and have traded for Jeffrey Springs. It looks like they're actually trying to do something.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if we were going to touch on this one or not because it's not really a free agency acquisition, but they also just gave out a contract extension to Rooker, who, from what I've seen of this guy, he is, I would say, borderline superstar, maybe even, yes, definitely a superstar. He's got fantastic numbers. I don't remember what his OPS was, 960 or something like that.
it was high.
He is a great player and young, and they just gave him a contract extension for 60 million, worth up to 90 million, with incentives for 6 years, something like that. I don't have it right in front of me. That's the gist of it, anyway. And I think he could have got more elsewhere, but he stayed with Oakland, and almost I don't know. Are they trying now? Are they really going to like? It looks like they're
It sure
trying to
looks
do.
that way. It looks that way at this point.
So for Rooker re-signing with them, he's still in arbitration and stuff. So that basically just bought that out and maybe a little extra. So he wasn't a free agent coming anytime soon. He's still tied to Oakland or to the A's, I should say. I literally just said we can't call them Oakland. But yeah. So he's already tied down there. So they basically just bought out his arbitration years. And yeah, now that they're out, they're trying to win, it seems like. But another thing to consider was,
They have no right.
huh?
I guess they're spending the money that they would have had to spend on overhead, since they have none now.
Yeah.
Well, they're
Yeah, that's the thing.
also, from what I've heard, with the collective bargaining agreement, they have to spend a percentage of the money they get from revenue sharing. And if they don't, they'll lose out on future revenue sharing.
Huh.
Wow.
So
Okay.
they
Okay.
so MLB kind of forced their hand into making moves because they want the money for not doing anything. Essentially, like I believe they got 70 something $1 million in revenue sharing or something like that,
Oh, there's
and
Red Rooker's salary. All right.
for 6 years. So MLB kind of forced their hand with that because the
Okay.
A's wanted free money, so they're not going to say no to that. um, that's about all I got
Oh,
on it. Any other thoughts on Springs going to Sacramento? Alrighty. Next move we got here is, I know I'm gonna butcher this, Tomoyoki Sugano from Japan. Righty signed with Baltimore, 1 year, $13 million deal. Paul, you're
well,
the Baltimore guy. What are your thoughts?
I don't think he's the next Otani, but woohoo, All I can say is I love the discipline of these Japanese guys. So for the most part, I think it's going to be a stellar move. I don't know that he's going to be our top guy. I, for 1 year, I don't see how we're going to make a mistake. I really don't know much about him. I haven't looked into him. I don't know his age even. But I think it's going to be fine. Um, we do still need some help with rotation, and so we have not done what we need to do yet for pitching. So I'm hoping that comes up yet. But for 1 year, 13 million, I feel like it's a win-win.
Righty. I've got nothing on it. So, um,
I got something. He's 35 years old. Let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Take a look. Take a look. Pulling it up now. He is, yeah, like I said, 35. I didn't know much about him before either. Okay, here we go. He has a, let's see, ERA lifetime 2.45 at all levels in Japanese baseball. Um, Looks like he's been with Team Yamamori. Is he? If I'm saying that right, Yamori. Team Yamori spent most of his career there, all of his career there, with a 2.45 ERA. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean with Japanese hitters, the way you usually think of them, that's pretty
Uh,
good. I'll take
his
that.
win loss. This is interesting. Win loss. He's 136 wins, 75 losses.
Wow.
So got a really good record pitching wise. I don't know anything about how he pitches his style, but we know these Japanese pitchers when they come over, they're always tricky.
Right.
They vary their deliveries,
Right.
and first year over, they usually do really well. So with a 2.45 ERA, that sounds to me like you've got a veteran pitcher that I think it's a really good move. Last year, let's see, he was, oh my goodness, last year he was 15-3 with a 1.67. I mean, come on. Yeah, I like that move, Paul. I like that move a lot.
Man, if we can keep him in the low twos this year, I'll be happy as a lark.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Wow.
Yeah, stunning these numbers now that we're looking at this. I'm surprised he didn't go to the Dodgers.
That's fantastic. Wow.
Yeah.
All
He's,
right.
de- he's definitely not Otani. He's 3 batting average. Well, but you didn't sign him for hitting, so
No, exactly. We don't need hitting. Yeah.
yeah, very interesting. I like it. I like the move. Uh, I did see something come across the ticker here. I don't know if you're aware of this. Uh, a pitcher named Matus, Matus, was a Orioles pitcher, former Orioles pitcher, died at
Oh
37.
yeah. Yeah.
oh,
30 something years old. Yeah.
That's too bad. But
Yeah.
yeah, love the move. Sagano looks like a pretty solid move pickup for you, your Orioles. So moving along.
alrighty. And the New York Yankees have found their Juan Soto replacement in Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger traded from the Chicago Cubs to the New York Yankees for former Jupiter Hammerhead Cody Petit. And the Cubs, I believe, are also sending cash as well. They're paying some of his contract.
Yeah, and they're filling their soda machines as well. Uh,
Okay, Moneyball over there.
I don't know.
He's not going to replace Soto, but anyway, okay. Uh,
I mean, I was just saying they played the same position. So,
yeah. 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 But he's
No,
no
well,
Soto, definitely.
no,
yeah,
not even close.
Does this hurt the Cubs?
Huh?
Does this hurt the Cubs?
They just traded Kyle Tucker, or they just got Kyle Tucker. So no,
Oh,
yeah.
that's right. Okay, yeah. If they just got Kyle Tucker, they're okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So Tucker just slides in for Bellinger in the lineup, and then they have Bellinger's contract off their books now.
Yeah.
Before the season starts, we need to go through and maybe even have a slide of some of the starting lineups for some of these teams because wow, there's going to be some stellar lineups.
Oh yeah. Some of these lineups are going to be really interesting to see for this upcoming season. Mr. Yankee over the. Oh, sorry. Continue.
So I guess he's going to take over for Rizzo at first base.
No, he's not. They signed Paul Goldschmidt.
So where's Bellinger playing?
The outfield.
Okay, well, it said they said they got first baseman Cody Bellinger. I don't know why it says it like that. Playing in the
Well,
outfield.
he plays outfield and first.
Okay, well that's okay. That's good. That's good. I like it. Bellinger. Are we going to get the resurgent Bellinger, or I don't know.
Well, see, that's why I'm worried about, you know, Bellinger's been an up and down guy.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how he does there.
Yeah, I mean it's it's a different environment, New York. So
Right. He hasn't been surrounded by superstars, so I think that could make a big difference in him.
He was in L.A.
yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah,
How
it
would
doesn't
he
get
be there?
show than L.A. and New York, so I think he'll be fine. Um, I mean, he is 751 OPS last year. Uh, okay. I was just hoping for a little better than okay at first base because, of course, we were hoping for Juan Soto, but you know, but he had a really good year the year before, so resurgent. He hit 307 the year before, so I'm hopeful that works out.
And to
All
Paul,
right.
to answer your question, um, he was on the Dodgers. His last year was 22.
Okay. Okay. So he was there with some superstars, definitely.
Yes.
He had a couple of like 3 really bad years in a row with the Dodgers, batting 239, 165. I believe that was it. Both those years were injury filled because he didn't even play half the games. And then, coming back, playing a little more regularly. Where did he go with that? 210. And then he gets traded to the Cubs and hits 307. Maybe this will be another resurgence for him.
I
Wow, has he ever been in
actually
the American League?
no, just L.A. and the Cubs. He's
Oh,
never
that
been
could
in
be
the
a difference
American League.
too.
So I heard something. I don't know if this is 100% true and how much of a clubhouse problem this is going to end up being. I believe Cody Bellinger is either married or with Stanton's ex.
What?
So how's
Wow.
that going to work out in the clubhouse?
Interesting. That's
I
interesting.
mean, they're
Yeah, you
professionals, so I'll probably even edit this part out.
I'm not even sure how much wives show up in the first place. I don't know that. I mean, I really don't. But
Probably case by case thing.
yeah, yeah.
Depends on the person. Um, how much more do the Yankees need to do? Because they got Bellinger and they got Goldschmidt. How much more do they need to do to replace Soto in the line?
There's no replacing Soto in the lineup.
Okay.
Well,
Can't
as far
those.
as positions, it sounds like they got their positions filled. But yeah, as far as the bat, you're not going to replace him. You're
Right.
just
They need what everybody else needs too. They need pitching.
right.
Well, they did just sign Max Fried.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, I love that. That's
I
such a great.
know that's what I wanted the Orioles to get him, but it
I
didn't
wanted the
happen.
Red Sox to get him.
Yeah.
Um,
And speaking of Soto, just very briefly, I thought it was very interesting that some of the offers are now coming out. We already know that because the Yankees went public with their offer, because he got what $765 million, and the Yankees offered him $760 million, so he turned it down for $5 million. I know there's
he
an extra year,
yeah, there's an
but
extra year involved.
I get that it's astronomical money. I sat here on this podcast going, no, there's no way. There's no way this guy gets more than 500 million. He's one man. How do you give one man? I mean, the only reason the other guy got it because he plays 2 positions at the same time. But apparently, everybody went nuts and lost. I don't know. They went crazy and threw all kinds of money at this guy. But yeah, Yankees really did make a great run at it, $760 million. And then you just told me something very interesting, Alex, about the Red Sox. That they made a huge offer too. What was that?
15 years, 700 million.
I mean, that's a very respectable offer to go play in a place where they got short porches and everything else. And man, I'm just I'm still surprised he went to the Mets. Like just
Well, I mean, there
legend,
was more
legend
than just
Red Sox goes to the Mets.
yeah.
So no knock against the Mets. I'm just saying,
No.
he'd be a forever legend in any of those two other cities, and you know I don't know. We'll see what happens with the Mets. They are certainly beefing up. So all right, let's continue.
Alrighty. Max Kepler to the Phillies. 1 year, $10 million. I mean that's a decent depth piece for them. I mean they already have a good amount of outfielders as it is.
I don't think they needed that, to be honest, but okay.
Yeah, that's why I called it a depth piece.
Yeah,
Because
I'm wondering about are they looking at DH or what there? I mean, that's what I'm wondering.
Probably to give some of their guys some DH rest. You know,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
he's a good fielder and he's a decent hitter. I like Max Kepler. I enjoyed
so
watching him progress from the minor leagues to where he is, but yeah, I don't think that's a major move. But
um my question for the Phillies is Harper staying at first? Because I believe Kepler can play first too, if I'm not mistaken. Because are they planning on keeping Harper at first base, or are they going to move him back out to the outfield?
Maybe they rotate some of that around and use them for outfield, DH, and first, both of them.
yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with
I
Harper.
mean, it's nice to have that kind of flexibility, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah,
So
oh yeah,
no doubt.
Yeah, it's not like Harper wants to sit and just hit. The guy loves the game and loves
Yeah,
being in
oh yeah.
every play.
that's
So
right. That's right.
he's
I think the other thing you got to think about is Kepler has been accident prone. So I think they have to think about that too.
yeah. You had a chance to meet Mr. Harper and see how intense he was, have you not,
Yes,
Alex?
yes. I during spring training, I got the opportunity to warm him up for an inning, and my hand hurt.
Yes, sir.
My hand definitely hurt. Yeah, he probably did let up a little bit, but it didn't feel like it to my hand at the time.
Yeah.
Still one of the more cooler experiences that I've been able to do. I really like the Phillies. And that NL East is going to be really
Oh,
competitive.
well, you're not kidding. You
Yeah.
got
I
that
have
right.
I have no clue who I'm gonna say is gonna be my prediction for that division winner because that division is stacked.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
are.
You got the Phillies, the Braves who are getting Acuna back, the
Uh,
Mets who just got Soto, the Nationals who are up and coming, and the Marlins who aren't even trying.
I think it was the Marlins. I If it wasn't the Marlins, it was the I don't remember who it was. If it wasn't them, it's the White Sox. One of the two teams had not spent any money yet this whole off
That
season,
was the Miami Marlins.
and I just how can you even say that statement? It's like that's impossible. How can you even say that?
Not only did they have they not spent any money, they've traded away players for nothing. I mean, speaking
yeah.
of the Phillies, they traded the Phillies Jesus Luzardo in division,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand that kind of stuff.
and
That
then
that
they
stuff makes
traded Jake Berger over to Texas.
Uh, they're saving money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
They're like Geico, saving money, 15% or more.
I feel like that's a disgrace for Geico's
Yeah,
standpoint.
really. I wow.
You don't want to be compared to the Marlins.
I
Oh, they're
believe
not going anywhere this year. Not division. They're going to
No.
be, if anything, they're going to be worse.
Well, I actually think they'll be better than last year because their two best pitchers should be coming off of injury, if I'm not mistaken. Because they spent the
Well,
year
that'll help.
without Yuri Perez and Alcantara last year. Alcantara, former Cy Young winner. So, with those two back, that's already an improvement from what they did last year. So,
So they had them not at all this whole last year.
I think they lost them like very early, if not during spring training.
Okay. Well, hopefully that helps them a little bit.
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean,
they want to. something around that, but
It's the Marlins we're talking about. They don't care.
That gives them 15 wins more. That they should be excited. You know.
so they might go like 60 and 100 and
62 and 100. 62 and 100. Oh
All
boy.
right, let's keep going.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Former Yankee Gio Urshela to the Athletics.
go A's. Let's
Uh,
go A's. Let's go A's.
you know it's bad when the A's are making more moves than your team.
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
um,
A's are busy.
they're busier than they've been in a long time.
They got to
Anything else
spend that.
for Gio? Or I mean, I don't really have anything.
I don't got nothing either.
All right. The Red Sox acquired Patrick Sandoval in a 2-year, 18.25 million.
What? Thank you.
What are they doing?
Yeah.
um.
What? Thank you.
So last season, this guy pitched about 80 innings and had a 5 ERA.
He was 2-8.
Yeah, but the year before that, he pitched about 145 innings and had a 4.11 ERA. And then the year before that was his best season with a 2.91. I don't want to pay someone $9+ million if the best season they had was over 2 years ago.
Exactly.
um, I mean, I'm happy that the Red Sox are at least making moves, but you also have to make the right moves when you make moves. And there's another deal that we're going to talk about later with the Red Sox that
Where
yeah.
was he at this point?
Los Angeles Angels.
That's
He's
why
been on a
I didn't even look at the 2-8 record.
well, worse than that. He's 19 wins, 45 losses career. He has not had a winning season ever. Uh, his first season was 0-4, and then 1-5. I mean, he's never had a. His winning percentage, his winning percentage is 297.
Okay. This is why I don't pay attention to win loss. Okay,
Oh, okay.
I don't pay
His ER,
attention to it because if you look at his 2022 season,
yeah,
he had under a 3 ERA, but was
true,
6-9. That's
true.
why I don't even pay attention to win loss anymore.
You know what? I did want to say this that you'd be surprised what can happen to a guy when he gets out of a bad situation. Because what are you playing? What's your motivation? I mean, you made it to the majors. Okay, that's great. But put him on a Red Sox team that's, trying to do something and has good players around him. And historically is a it's a it's a storied franchise. So you never know what a move like that could do to a guy. And I think that they saw something in him that they said we can do something with this guy. And that,
I'm shocked at the 2 years though.
I mean, at least it's not 10 plus a year. It averages out to
yeah,
a little over 9.
and get something great out of it. Maybe we'll turn his career, turn these numbers around when he's got some support around him. You never know.
Well, to be fair, Andrew Bailey, former former pitcher Andrew Bailey, became the Red Sox pitching coach last year and completely turned around everyone in that rotation.
There you go.
So he probably saw something and said, "Go after him." So if
Yeah.
that's the case, you know what? 9 million isn't that much for a starting pitcher nowadays.
No, I agree with that. All right.
He can eat innings.
Is he
So
is he a starter though? Let's see.
he is a
Games
starter.
played. Yeah, he is a starter. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
Well,
guess just out there, let's take a chance on somebody. I'm surprised at the amount of money that they gave him to move over. Was there a lot of competition for those numbers? I don't know.
probably not. I mean, this
Yeah.
was still when Burns was on the board too. So, which we'll get to later. Um,
Yeah.
Alrighty, moving on. Uh,
Yeah.
Yankees and Reds made a trade. The Yankees have traded Jose Trevino to the Reds for right-hander Fernando Cruz and catcher Alex Jackson. So, Mr. Yankee fan over there, what are your thoughts on this?
My computer just went. Hold on. Okay. I don't know. I'm still suffering from Juan Sotoitis. So these moves aren't really, I don't know. What's up next?
um, well, I mean, since we're talking about that just really quickly,
Yeah.
from what I hear, Yankee fans in general love Austin Wells, and I can't quite understand why.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's something. I'm wondering if he's something in the dugout or something in the community that they like. Because I agree, he's not a good bat. He's not good behind the plate. I don't understand why they really like him so well.
Well, I mean, he's decent enough behind the plate to where they replaced him uh, when Jose Trevino was the starter because there were some major defensive issues with Trevino, and they put Wells in there to stop those issues from happening. But I hear people really like his swing and that they think he's going to turn it around.
yeah. I
But
don't
he
think
hits
so.
229.
Yeah.
I would be curious to know the ages of some of these people simply because you got to remember who the new coach is at Cincinnati.
Mr. Terry Francona.
And he doesn't mind having any age bracket
Mm-mm.
because he can turn people around in a heartbeat, no matter if they're old or if they're young. So I would be curious to know. Matter of fact, I don't know these three players, to be honest.
Jose
I would
Trevino, the guy the Reds
wouldn't mind
got, is
knowing the difference
32.
of Jose Trevino and Alex Jackson. Which one of them's really better? The age difference, all that type of stuff. Because I mean, that's catcher on catcher, and which one of them really is the better catcher? Because I,
It's a coin
yeah,
toss.
I would just be curious to know
Um,
who made, who
Trevino
made the
is
best.
definitely the better bat. Alex Jackson hasn't proven himself with the bat at all. Um, Trevino has struggled behind the plate. Trevino is 32 and Alex Jackson is 29.
Okay,
So I mean, it's a positional or I guess a bat upgrade for Cincinnati, and they sent the reliever over. So
right, yeah, okay.
I like it a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see what happens.
alrighty, one of the big names off the board, the Houston Astros. What is Houston doing? I'm so confused. The Houston Astros have acquired first baseman Christian Walker on a 3-year, $60 million contract. Let me just say, from the Astros standpoint, I love this. He's a great bat, good veteran presence. To but that right side of the infield is going to be that's going to have a average age of 30 plus.
I think my question is more, what is Christian Walker doing? Why would you go to a franchise that we can't even explain right now? Christian Walker is a good bat, and
Mhm.
Houston Astros seem to got rid of everything, and now he's going to be the hero. And it's like, wow, man. I mean, why wouldn't you go somewhere that you could be surrounded by some other heroes? Yeah,
Well,
I'm shocked he went there.
the Houston lineup still isn't half bad. They still have Jose Altuve and they still have Jordan Alvarez, which is more
But
than most teams can say.
but to
Okay.
me, he sort of made a slide from to me, he sort of made a slide from Arizona to Houston. They're almost the same exact type of team. He didn't really go up.
I, well, I see what you're saying. Well, I
But
like it for Houston. I mean,
oh, I
Houston
do
had
too.
first baseman problems. But I mean, we just don't know what Houston's plan is, and I guess they
I
were
know.
able to spell it out for him, and he was okay with it.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they trade Kyle Tucker essentially for what's going to be Bregman's replacement, and then they signed Christian Walker.
Yeah,
So
that's the
it's not making sense to me.
no, me either. Me either.
So what's Bregman doing?
We don't know yet. No word.
Will this keep him there? I mean, maybe this keeps him there.
I think they were too far off with the numbers. I think the Astros offered him around 150 and he wanted two. And they just got Isaac Paredes from the Cubs, who plays third base. So I definitely think Bregman's out of Houston now with that trade, with the Tucker trade. So I don't think he's going back.
You know who the top two contending teams to pick up Alex Bregman are?
I know what one of them is. Actually, can I guess?
Yes.
I'm gonna say Boston and the Yankees.
Tigers
Okay.
and Boston.
Tigers and Boston. Okay. So
you like him going?
do I like Alex Bregman in Boston? Well, we do already have Devers who plays third base, but I heard they might be trying to move him over to first and trying to trade Casas for something. Let me see what Bregman did last year, because I don't think he had a great year last year.
260, 26 home runs, 75 RBIs. I don't know if he played a full season. Let me see.
A 768 OPS.
It's just above average, barely.
Yeah. I don't want Bregman is a solid talent. He's proven that. But his best year was in 2019, where he had a 1015 OPS.
Yeah.
His best year after that was 2022, and that was at 820. So you're going to be paying a player $200 million who's going to be going into its 10th MLB season.
That's the problem.
I wouldn't give Bregman $200 million.
No, because that OPS is only going to start fractionally staying the same or going down at this point. There's no way
It's been
gonna go up.
yeah. So the last 4 years for Bregman have been 777, 820, 804, 768. Alex Bregman is not worth $200 million.
No, he's
And
not. I agree 100%. Now,
if
how much better is he than the present third baseman at Red Sox, though?
Devers. Rafi Devers is there. Devers is better.
Yeah, Devers is better. If they can move one of those players, though, I don't know. You're still talking about a guy that's in the top 25 talk about MVP for 2 out of the last 3 seasons. He won a Gold Glove last year. Would he thrive out of this environment where he no longer has to hear anything about 2017?
Wait. Both of the teams that he's projected to go to have links to 2017.
I understand.
Alex Cora was the bench coach, and that's the manager for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
AJ Hinch, who's the manager in Detroit, was the manager in Houston then. He's not leaving that situation if he goes to either of those two teams.
Wrong, guys. You guys are holding on to a situation that nobody cares about. I'm telling you.
I don't care about it anymore, but he's saying that he's leaving the Houston situation. And I'm saying, well, if he goes to these two teams, he's not necessarily leaving it. I don't care about it. That's all. That's just the point I was making. He's not leaving the situation necessarily. But that being said, I wouldn't want to pay him $200 million.
No, he's not worth that.
Start now and hope that you get lightning in a bottle. I don't know. I don't see that big money going there.
And on top of that, the left side of the infield, you need some young blood. That's the hot spot.
Mm-hmm.
And when you got 10 years in, you're starting to wind down a little bit. That's all there is to it.
Yeah. I mean, he was, like my dad said, he is Gold Glove, so that would improve the fielding at third, especially if they're trying to move Devers off of third. So it would improve the fielding there. But the bat plus the fielding, I don't think is worth 200. If they can get him for much less than that, I'd be happy. But
got to start worrying about injuries and just wearing out at that age for an everyday player.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Alrighty. While he's doing that, I'm gonna skip that one.
Yeah.
So the Cleveland Guardians trade Josh Naylor to the Diamondbacks. Who the the Diamondbacks replace Christian Walker with Josh Naylor, and then the Indians sign Carlos Santana to replace Naylor. Carlos Santana, who started his career in Cleveland, is now back there. Well, so
Yes.
I think this improves. Uh, well, I guess this made the room so the salary move, anyways, so the D-backs could get Corbin.
Exactly.
I think that's what this move signifies. Okay.
Exactly.
Next thing, Paul Goldschmidt to the Yankees. We already talked a little bit about that. Won the MVP in 2022. So if he can get back to that, that's a big plus for the Yankees. 1 year, 12.5. Last season with the Cardinals, he did not do tremendously well. In about 600 at bats, he hit 245, 22 home runs, and a 716 OPS. But the Cardinals were dealing with stuff internally, I believe, because you don't have that roster and then put that product on the field.
Right.
So
Right.
I think there was something more to that, and so if he could get back to being Paul Goldschmidt, that's a steal. Mr. Yankee fan, what do you think?
Can I order at the end? Because I got to see what everyone else orders before I place my order.
Paul, what do you think?
I always worry about
I'm going
age.
dead and
I
was
really
asking you
do
questions. I can't answer.
when it comes to playing. I always worry about age. I That money I think is a good deal for them. Um, I think Goldsmith is going to be good there simply because of his. Okay, I worry about age for playing, but I think Yankees need some veterans to help with some of their younger players. And so I think it's a good fit. I have no problem with him being there. I don't like it for me being an Orioles fan because I think Goldsmith's going to do well against any pitcher. It doesn't matter who it is. He's been in the league long enough. He's seen enough pitchers that it doesn't matter who the pitcher is. He's going to give him a hard time.
Right. Um, if and especially if he can get back to 2022 MVP
Yeah.
level, that definitely helps get a little towards what Soto brought to that team. I still think they need to do
Right.
more to get
Right.
into the playoffs because just remember last year the Yankees weren't even in the playoffs without Soto.
Right. Exactly. I could see Goldsmith retiring in the next few years and becoming one of their coaches. I mean, he's just that kind of guy. Um, and so I Goldsmith just has been a stellar player down through the years.
Yeah, yeah, no, he's always been decent, and this past year something was going on in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's what I think. I agree with that. I agree with that. I think that was just a weird year. I think he's coming right back. I really do.
Yeah,
I like the move. I like the move. I like Goldschmidt. I think he's going to do great. I'm surprised it's only a 1 year deal, but
it's 1 year because of the bad year he had last year.
Yeah, that's what I think.
bad year he had last year. We just talked about other guys that had a couple, 2 or 3 bad years, and yet they got decent contracts. But
Well, he's not a
I,
pitcher though. That's
yeah, that's true.
sometimes the difference.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't know. I like the move a lot. It's it's not Juan Soto, but I'll take it.
Alrighty, we got to get moving here. Really quickly, the Nationals get Nathaniel Lowe in trade with the Rangers. The Phillies bolster their rotation with Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins. Marlins, what are they doing?
Yeah.
Because that already great rotation just got even better, which is even hard to say. because that Philly rotation is nasty.
Yeah,
Um,
well, and then on top of that, it says here that there's also for 2 prospects, and it's like, what? You gotta hope that the 2 prospects mean something.
it's
Yeah.
the Marlins. It doesn't. Um,
Wow.
And it's
alrighty.
sad. Just
No, it's very sad. It's very sad. I feel bad for people who are actually diehard Marlin fans, if they even have any now. um,
sad.
Sean Manaea returns to the Mets on a 3-year deal. The Rangers add Jock Peterson. I think that's a great move for Texas. I really like Jock Peterson. Um,
Yeah.
he's a great power bat. He's a platoon guy.
Texas needs some help. They had a bad year.
They had one of the worst World Series hangovers
Yeah,
in a while.
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly right. You gotta hope that's all it is. It's just a 1-year hangover and they're done.
Yeah. Well, I did see a stat that something weird about Bruce Bochy's team's not doing great a year after they won the
I
World
saw
Series.
I saw that too. That was a strange stat.
So maybe it's just that. Alrighty. Andrew
Sean
McCutcheon.
Manaea, by the
Oh,
way, Sean Manaea, I was very surprised. 3 years, 75 million. Um, it's interesting. I don't know.
think it's too much.
Well, you know what? If he's gonna maintain what he did, and he did great, and down the stretch last year, but I get, here's a guy, you take him out of a bad situation. He was on the A's, and he seems to have turned it around quite a bit. So I guess he proved enough to get that kind of contract. And you might see the same thing with that kind of a turnaround, which was what we just talked about with the, with someone like a Bregman or whatever. Take them out of the situation they're in, but give them a new home and see what happens. I like that move. Love Jock Peterson in Texas, and this next one is interesting.
Well, let me just say a few ones before that because we are running short on time here. Let me just blow through a few really quickly. Um, Andrew McCutcheon returning to the Pirates. Teoscar Hernandez returning to LA, which I think that's big for LA.
Yes.
Huge.
Josh Bell to the Nationals. Lorenzen back to the Royals. And the other ones we can talk about a little bit. Okay. Walker Bueller to the Red Sox for 1 year, $21.05 million.
A lot of money.
That's a lot of money for a guy who had a 5 ERA last year. Don't get me wrong, great postseason. He had a phenomenal postseason. He was unhittable. But
That's what
which
they're
Walker
banking on.
Bueller is the Red Sox getting?
I know.
I know
I
he
know.
was coming off an injury last year, so maybe that's why he had trouble getting going or whatever. But he locked in the postseason. I need to know what Walker Bueller are we getting because that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. Yeah.
He secured the final out in the World Series.
Well, you gotta hope he comes off that momentum into the next year.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's why it's a 1 year deal. So
yeah,
they're tasting, they're testing the waters.
yeah.
That's a lot of
See, can we
fun for 1 year.
get lightning in the bottle, and if so, then maybe we can extend the contract.
Yeah.
And that's probably how they went into that. Look, if this goes well, we'll give you a contract extension.
Yeah, he's already having quotes saying he wants to stay in Boston longer than the year. So,
There you go.
I hope we're getting postseason Walker Bueller.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll turn out to be okay.
Yeah,
I like the move. All
I
right, next.
I wish it wasn't that much, but 1 year deal, it's fine. Um, Gleyber Torres to the Tigers, 1 year, 15 million. I think that is way too much for Gleyber Torres.
I agree.
Yeah, I thought he was going to stay with the Yankees. I love how every single prediction I made was
Well, no, you said Walker to Houston. You did say Walker to
okay.
Houston. I
Okay,
think.
all right.
Corbin Burns to the Diamondbacks, 6 years, 210 million. Paul, how you feeling?
I'm feeling like this is stellar for the Diamondbacks. That division right there, you know what? That division right there, he is going to eat them up. He's going to eat them up out there. Um, I I hate that the Orioles didn't get him back, but I'm not shocked. But he is going to eat alive the West. He's going to absolutely eat them.
So
I I I mean, outside of the Dodgers, he's going to eat everybody else alive.
yeah,
There's not going to be anybody that he can't eat up out there.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Hope he's hungry.
so I heard that the Giants and the Blue Jays both offered him more, but he still went to Arizona for a couple of reasons. The taxes are better there, and I believe I heard he has a home in the Arizona area, so he could when he's in spring training and when he's playing in the regular season, he gets to stay at home.
Well,
So
I was going to say the neat thing about Arizona, they've got the full package when it comes to if you're getting close to retirement, and by the time his 6 years are done, he will be. Who doesn't want to retire in Arizona? I mean, for crying out loud. And so to me, I feel like he's just sort of wrapping up his years right there, and I think this really helps their pitching now. If they can get their batting down pat, I think they've got a good chance. I know they've got a lot to overcome with LA, but you know what? Here's the thing with LA, and I mean this sincerely, and I don't mean this ugly. All they need is Otani to get hurt, and that team's done. And I mean, not totally. You still have other players there. Don't get me wrong, but I don't like a team to totally be around one player. That's just scary. That's not the way to play the game. You cannot just bank on one player being your bat and your pitcher both.
well, to be
And
fair, the Dodgers had a stellar rotation on the IL last year. They went out and got a
now that's
lot of
true.
depth.
You are right about that. I didn't even think about that. You are right. They had a lot of IL last year. Yeah, you're right about that.
The
So
team is an all-star team. I don't think I think if Otani goes down, they'll be just fine.
not only
The Padres made it close. The Padres made it close last year.
yeah, they did, and Arizona could make it close. So I that's what I'm saying.
And the
They would
Giants are
definitely
making moves. That's going to be a good
yeah, but I don't
division.
know if they make enough moves.
No.
But
And speaking of the Dodgers, they signed Korean infielder Hae-sung Kim, not Hong Sung Kim with the Padres, another guy from the KBO who's just came over, signed him to a 3-year, $12.5 million contract. I have nothing on this guy.
never even heard of him.
Alrighty. Cincinnati Reds acquire Gavin Lux from the Dodgers for a draft pick and an outfield prospect. I guess Francona's hoping to turn his career around because Lux hasn't done much yet. And then, lastly, the San Francisco Giants had Old Man Verlander for a year and $15 million.
I'm stunned. Is
Yeah,
all I can say. I don't know that this helps a thing. I am not a Verlander fan.
no, I'm not either.
Um, the only thing I can
Either.
say is, I mean, it's a great stadium for him, but outside of that, I don't see where this helps anything. I really don't. I like I said, they need more than just pitching. I don't know. He's not a leader in the clubhouse for pitchers,
But he
so he's not
smiles
going
for
to help.
everyone on camera.
Yeah. It's
So
funny.
he's not going to help your younger guys. So that's not going to be a plus. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure how this helps them. I'm just not sure. So anyway,
I think they just
that's
threw $15 million directly in the toilet.
I
I
don't
have
think it's gonna be
I
that
have to
bad.
wonder if he has a home out there and he's wanting to retire after this year is what I wonder.
I think that's the highest amount anyone would have offered him because I wouldn't have given him that after the
Oh,
season he had.
I agree 100%. Yeah.
He's been health concerns and he hasn't been great when he's healthy as of late. So,
I mean, he can eat innings. I'll give him that
oh
much.
yeah, he'll eat innings. But
And
how good
so
are those innings going to be at this point? He's what,
and like
42?
I said, that stadium is great for pitching, so I think he'll do fine. I'm not worried about that.
Yeah.
I really think part of the reason why people want to see this is because they want to see him against some of the superstars of the West. That's really what it is.
I will enjoy seeing Otani homer off of him this year.
Yeah, right out in the bay. Boom. Exactly.
Boom.
Well, my friends, I need to wrap it. If you
Oh,
guys want to wrap it up a different way without me, I understand, but I
no,
do need to.
I think we
Wicker,
hit
Oh,
wicker,
everything we
wicker.
needed to.
Go,
all right,
Paul. Wicker,
friends.
wicker, wicker.
It's always good.
Come on, Paul. You said he had to wrap it. Come on. No. All right.
All right, please like and subscribe. Comment down
Comment
below.
below.
Shout out Adam Sandler, Waterboy. All right. Alrighty, and this is the Grounds
Over, yeah.
Crew. Like, subscribe, follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok.